What is going on YouTube? Today I'm with my baby bird Cherry and I am going to talk about a problem that many TJ owners have encountered, and if they have not, they most likely will. Now this is a really big problem and it's all about the rollover valve on the gas tank. If you are just tuning into our channel for the first time, my name is Greg, this is the Garage Couple. This is my Jeep TJ, it's a 2001 with over 260,000 miles on it. My partner, my wife, Ollie, she drives the red Jeep JK, and we like to make these videos showing easy and affordable mods, reviews, install videos, as well as some maintenance videos like the one you're about to see now. So if that sounds awesome to you, Jerry, what's going on, dude? That sounds awesome to you, please consider subscribing to our channel below. So if you're like me, you have your check engine light on your vehicle, basically eternally on. There's an evap leak somewhere in the system. I made my own smoke machine. I could talk about that a little bit later, but I made my own smoke machine, smoked the entire system, and after replacing the gas cap with the P0456 code, I came to the conclusion that the problem was actually my rollover valves. So what I did was I purchased a brand new, but I purchased a replacement gas tank that came in with freight mail that has intact rollover valves. So these are the rollover valves that tend to go bad on the Jeep Wranglers. These are on all the Wranglers, YJs, TJs, JKs, but the issue is they don't actually make these gas tanks anymore. You can't buy a brand new gas tank for the Jeep TJ. They don't exist. However, these rollover valves, they tend to go bad and start causing evap leaks, so you won't pass smog. Now the issue with this is these rollover valves, they're actually not serviceable. You can't replace it like you can in the YJ and some other models of the Wrangler. You have to replace the whole tank, but they don't make a new tank, so you have to get a used one and kind of hope for the best. So this is what I did. I purchased this. I'm gonna transfer everything over onto this one. The fuel filler over there, the evap lines, the fuel pump. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean the tank because I could see that there's some rocks, some debris in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and transfer the fuel. Just to give you a little bit of background on the struggle that I've had with this rollover valve. About a year ago or so, I realized the problem was in the rollover valve. So I dropped the gas tank. I then tried to put a piece of ballpoint pen like some others have suggested. However, it wasn't successful, it leaked again. So then I dropped the gas tank again. I figured out another solution. It lasted for about 2-3 months, and then again, back to the evap leak. So I'm tired of that, and I want to just replace the tank and just never have to drop my gas tank again. Now, fortunately, dropping the gas tank is not that difficult. There's a total of 5 or 6 bolts that hold in the gas tank, and then a couple screws on the fuel filler neck. Dropping the gas tank is not a big deal at all on these vehicles, but I'm tired of doing it. Dude, what's going on, man? Hey, we're trying to make a video over here. What's up? Good, baby Jerry. Good. Well, you don't like the Jeep Wrangler? Finally, come here. Come on. Good, Jerry. What do you think? You like it? What's up? What's up? Jerry, stop. Good boy. Good boy. Good, baby Jerry. Alright, buddy, you want to help me change the gas tank, or you want to go eat your seats, dude? Alright, I guess you're not too happy about being in the garage at this time. By the way, I replaced Jerry with this cup of coffee here. So anytime you're working with fuel, make sure you disconnect your battery. Battery and fuel, they don't like to mix with each other, so go ahead and do that step now. Just disconnect the negative, put it in like a glove or something. Doesn't really matter, just make sure it's disconnected. Next, we're gonna just take the gas cap off and remove these 4 screws over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get rid of those and we'll check back in. Just to give you an idea of the different products that I've tried, I tried Flex Seal. I tried spraying this on the rollover valve, didn't work. I guess it worked for a little bit. I tried this, JB plastic bonder, didn't work either. I then tried some of this stuff, water weld, no good. I tried Seal All, says it's for fuel, didn't work at all. And I tried some Bondo, I tried some Weldwood contact cement, none of this works. So I'm actually excited to see what the tank looks like, because I added each of these things through my frame, between the body and the frame. I just stuck my hand and rubbed it over there, and then I tested it with an OB reader. So I'm curious to see what the tank looks like. It's gonna be pretty much destroyed, I could imagine. Before I forget to mention, this is a lifesaver over here. So let me just explain what this is. So this is an OBD2 reader, and it works via Bluetooth. You plug this into your vehicle's OBD2 port, and you download a free app on your phone. Like I use one called Torque. You put this in and it reads all the codes, and you can clear the codes. You could check your smog status. You could do so many things for free. And these things are pretty cheap. They're like $10. I'll drop a link in the description below. I highly recommend this, and after I swap out the tank, I'm gonna use this little device to turn off my check engine light, and hopefully it doesn't come back. This is a great point to take a coffee break. Make sure you grab some safety glasses, have a nice coffee, have a nice brew, whatever works. It's pretty early, it's like 8 a.m. here, so otherwise I'd probably have a beer. Grab yourself some sockets. This is gonna take, the size here is 13mm socket wrench. Grab yourself a couple of these extensions. Just gonna walk you through it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do it in super speed. There's 4 total bolts holding the rear of the skid plate, and there's 3 in the front. There's gonna be 2 on the front left, 1 on the front right. If you just crawl under your Jeep, it's pretty easy to see those. Then there's 3 connectors holding only 3 connectors holding the gas tank. There's the fuel line, you can disconnect it with your fingers. There's an electrical connector, you slide the red clip and disconnect that as well. And then there's an evap line, which is connected to the rollover valves. Just tug that out. You can be pretty harsh with it. This tank's rollover valves are going to the trash can. So that's all there is to it. You're gonna use a jack stand to drop the tank down, which I have right over here. A floor jack, not jack stand. And once you drop the tank down, we're just gonna transfer everything over and drop it back in. I have air tools, but you know, it's a quiet morning and it's only 7 bolts. I removed all of the screws. Now I'm gonna slowly bring the gas tank down to the floor. It helps to have not too much gas. It helps to have a low amount of fuel in your tank. I would just like to show you my solution here. Look at this, it's like molded on there. This is what a stock rollover valve should look like. And here it is after all the Bondo and all the product. Look, looks pretty dang good. However, still leaked. Surprisingly, it's still leaked. So time to change this out. So here's the fuel pump. We're gonna take this out with a flathead screwdriver and a hammer. Probably gonna need to buy another evap line. I'm gonna also buy a fuel transfer pump. I'm gonna disconnect this line over here, and that's it. Transfer everything over, as well as don't forget the fuel filler neck and the vent hose there. And last but not least, we're also going to do the skid plate. Now it's time to remove the skid plate. This is also a 13mm. So once you remove these bolts, you can remove the skid plate straps, and then the tank is free to move. Next thing I want to do is remove the fuel filler neck. This is just a flathead, and it's like one of those hose clamps. So far, so good. It's gonna take a little bit of elbow grease. Piece of cake, just was blocking the camera, but this is what it looks like off. We're gonna put it on our new tank, so make sure you don't damage it. Just wanna show you the monstrosity over here. This is my setup. This is what I did, the Bondo. This is the other evap line. As you can see, the ballpoint pen tube still in it. Didn't work for me. This is what a good rollover valve looks like, and this is what a not so good rollover valve looks like, especially with all sorts of crap products on it. So next thing I need to do is remove this fuel tank, fuel pump. Once I remove the fuel pump, I need to transfer the fuel from this tank to that one. Sorry about that. To that tank. And then after I transfer the fuel, I can go ahead and install the fuel pump. Then I can install the hoses, the skid plate, all that good stuff. So stay tuned to see how that goes down. So here's where we're at. I took the old tank full of gas out of the skid plate. I went ahead and installed the new one into the skid plate. Really simple. You just open those latches out, drop the old one in. I reattached, or I'm still reattaching the fuel filler line. And now I have to figure out how to get the fuel. Sorry about that. Now I have to figure out how to get the fuel from this tank over there into that tank over there, and then I need to buy one fuel evap line, and then I can bolt it in. Let's continue. Now I know that these fuel filler lines have a ball and roll ball valve in it, but I don't know that this vent tube beside it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try my best here. I'm gonna try my best to just pour it in through this filler area. I just wish I had a little less fuel here to work with. So I'm currently siphoning. Look at that. I did it. Working pretty well. Just let it do its thing. So moving along with the project, I found that the T that connects the evap line was also broken. There's supposed to be a piece right over here. It's hard to focus it, but I ended up just getting a universal line. So this is a universal piece. Should fit my application. And then here's the 3/16 line, and here is, I believe it's 3/8. Let me just double check that. A 1/4 inch. So we have the 1/4 inch line and the 3/16. I wasn't able to find 3/16. I'm gonna just reuse that piece. I'm gonna replace the ones that connect to the rollover valve and use this as well. Excited to bolt it all back in. I'll check back in with you after I do that. So this is what I came up with. I attached the hoses and I put some clamps down on it. I do not ever want to open this back up. I hope this is the final time I ever have to drop the tank. So therefore I clamped those down. All right, at this point, I lifted the tank right back up. I plugged everything back and I am letting it run. Watching out for some leaks here and there, but I don't see any. So I think we are good to go. Because we unplugged the battery, now the check engine light is off. Hopefully it stays off. Hopefully I don't have to do this again. All right, everyone. So there you have it. We have replaced the gas tank in this 2001 Jeep TJ due to the rollover valve issues, and now we are good to go. Because we had disconnected the battery, there is no more check engine light, and hopefully it stays off for now. I hope this video was helpful for you. It definitely was a challenge figuring this all out. Some people say you could change the rollover valves, others say you can't, and there's different sources on different places of the web. So I'm just happy that I'm able to produce this video that could potentially help you out in the future. I know that as time goes on, this problem is only going to get more and more common just because these things are getting older with time. Most recent TJ is, like almost 14 years old now. So I hope this was helpful. Just make sure you check for all like fluid leaks, anything like that after you put everything back together. And be very careful as you put it back together so you don't break it as well. And hopefully you never have to deal with the issue ever again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please consider checking out our channel, subscribing to our channel, and stay tuned for some giveaways. Thank you so much.